Yeah, it was probably one of the best responses we've got. Yeah, we had some moshing, kids going nuts. This one drunk guy kept high-fiving me the entire set. Like, just like, ah!
Welcome to the 24th episode of the Cassidin's Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is a show where I interview bands and public figures from the mathcore community. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in. I'll try to read them aloud. If you're watching this on YouTube, listening to this in your car, have no idea what I'm talking about, the cast is first shown live on twitch.tv/the Creation. Join us every Sunday and Wednesday for the live cast. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest tonight who dropped their fourth album, 2020, back in October. Welcome in Torrential Downpour. How's it going, guys?
All right, how you doing?
Yo.
I'm doing pretty good. Man? Thanks for joining me. Tell us what you do. Tell us who you are and what you do in the band. Guess we'll start
Jason.
with Jason. There we go. Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm Jason. I play guitar and do like samples and synths and things. Guitar.
I'm also Jason. I do vocals, I play synths, and I do like samples also, and like some vocal manipulation stuff.
I'm Matt. I play bass.
I'm Pete. I'm the drummer.
Alrighty, two Jasons. Does that ever get complicated?
No, well, I go by Parker sometimes. Like I guess.
Jason, and you go by Parker.
I like it. Yeah, I go by pseudonym. Yeah.
We just call each other by our last names anyway, so that's
yeah. Cuts out all confusion that way.
So, Torrential Downpour is kind of an odd choice for a band name. How'd you guys land on that?
We didn't really. We kind of inherited it in a way.
Just watching the Weather Channel too much, huh?
Yeah, well, the history of the band like goes back real far, like to like 1995, 96, like around that era, maybe even before that. Jeez. And actually, none of us were actually in the band at that time. like we're actually none of the original members of Torrential Downpour, like the original Torrential Downpour. But basically, like Torrential Downpour kind of like reformed back in like '97 with like Matt and Pete as part of it. And then I think I joined in like 98 as like a singer, and then our guitar player and keyboard player left, and then Jay came in 2000, and then as our guitar player, and then that's basically been the lineup since. Like we've been doing Torrential since basically 2000. So, I mean, even though the band goes back further than that, we consider this to be like our 21st year in existence.
So the debut album, that's you guys, right? Like all y'all are on that one?
Oh, yeah. The first record we put out in 2009. Everything that we've ever released officially that's out there is us, the four of us.
Oh, okay, cool. Are there any recordings of like the old lineups?
The name itself had been out for a while.
Okay, I gotcha. So they never did anything with it, and you guys?
No. It was just like a local band just kicking around for a while.
And then they weren't doing anything, and I was like, "That's actually a really cool name for a band." So when Matt and I decided to do our own thing from a band that we were in, we were like, nobody's using Torrential Downpour, and here we are. So,
and it was like, with like members of the original Torrential Downpour too, like Casey and Ben.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Holy crap! I knew that you guys were back from like this is your 20th anniversary, right? This year.
Yeah,
kind of.
We've known each other. We've known each other for a long time. Yeah. We've known each other for well over 20 years. But yeah, I guess as officially as a band, we'll call it our 20-year anniversary, right? 2020. Hence the album title name 2020. Kind
Regina
of a reference to that.
Stargazer is saying, so you're a Torrential Downpour tribute band then?
Yeah, kind of. In a sense, we are.
So
we're a Torrential Downpour tribute band, but we write music as if we were the Torrential Downpour of the past. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
It kind of does. We'll move on. So has this been one elaborate joke? Like you guys decided 20 years ago to make a band so that you could release an album this year that's 2020?
I mean, we didn't plan it that way. We're all lucky to be alive. So you know what I mean. Like, so it's like we made it this far, so we figured we might as well dedicate it to being around for 20 years.
So you call it space metal, but I was thinking that it doesn't really fit your name too well. Why not call it water metal or weather metal?
Weather metal, I love it.
I'm here all night. Here all night.
We could consider a genre change. You know what I mean? Like we're not tied down to the whole space metal thing.
Yeah.
Somebody years ago came up to us. We were playing a show way out in Pennsylvania, and some guy came up to us after the show. Was like, "Oh, so you guys play that kind of space metal?" And we looked at each other. We were like, "We never even heard of that." And we're like, "Uh huh." And a couple other people, over time, like way back, would like say space metal, and like, I don't know, but like, it's. I mean, what it what's labeling anything, but I mean it's whatever, it's cool.
We actually record in zero gravity.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's why it takes us like 5-6 years in between records.
Right, exactly. The time moves differently in our studio space. You know what I mean?
Well, I was gonna say your last album was like 2014. It took you 6 years to get this. That's a long time. What?
Tell me
why is it taking so long?
I guess the best answer for that is just like, just having our own things going on in our own personal lives. And then plus, I guess, we're not on any kind of like label. So there's no real like pressure from like any kind of like outside source when to get the material done. We're all very like perfectionistic when it comes to like the writing process and recording process. So like, I guess, a lot of times like it would come to just like little tiny baby steps when it came to like working and getting these songs together. So it was an arduous and long process, but it's finally over, and we're excited to get to the next long and arduous process.
Well, you've had what was it? An aperture space, whatever your first song was on here. You guys have had that since 2018. Like these songs must be really old to you guys. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, these songs must be really old for you guys.
A couple of the tracks. Yeah, I think like even "Old Familiar," which is a song that Jay wrote. I think it even goes back even further than that, right, Jay? Like when do you think
like
you were?
I would say that one's like 2013 or something. It's
Yeah, I think Incognition was around that same time as well.
Yeah, Incognition and Apperceptive Mass, we were playing them live back in like 2018. So Incognition was the first one we wrote for the new for this album. That was the first one that we wrote.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean with the like Old Familiar was around for a while, and then like we wound up like not using it because like I don't know, wasn't ready for Truth, Knowledge, Vision. It got too familiar, so we had to go back. We had to go Old Familiar.
Very good.
So when I first saw like your album and the link for the songs and stuff, I was thinking I might not really be into this. I was kind of thinking it would be a lot of like slow, repetitive tracks. Like I thought you guys were post metal, like Neurosis or Isis or something. I never heard of you guys before this, but digging into it, you guys have some pretty crazy range, like some intense, harsh stuff that could be at home on like a grind album, and then you got these beautiful choruses and just like subtle atmospherics going on. So you guys have to have a ton of influences going into this. I would say stuff like oh my god, I forget the name now. Typo Negative, that type of thing would be in here. I could see. For some reason, I kept thinking that you guys would probably be really into Pink Floyd. But what are some of your big influences going into this?
Oh. Like this record specifically?
No, like just right now. Like what are your influences for like the band?
Yeah.
I mean, like Pantera's always been a big one for us. Typo Negative was a big influence on me. I know Matt also.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, Pink Floyd, because they're just one of those bands where like you grow up and you like Pink Floyd and you absorb things from them. Bands like Dillinger Escape Plan are another big one for us, all over the map, even stuff that isn't metal at all, but like you find something that you like about it and you bring it in to like a metal landscape or whatever, and it just adds a different flavor, a different dynamic to the music, and you get space metal, right?
Weather metal. We've already been over this.
Okay. Weather metal. That's right. Weather metal.
So Pantera, that's actually a kind of surprising influence to me. Like I heard y'all on the Metal Trenches podcast, and y'all mentioned Pantera, and I'm like, wait, what? Like that just doesn't really seem like it's what y'all are going for here. That's an interesting.
We're not going for like the Pantera sound, but like they're a huge influence on us as musicians and songwriters. So, I mean, like I feel there are bands who hear other bands and go, "We're going to do that sound." Where it's like you can hear there's that direct connection. It's like, oh, they sound like that band. But for us, it's always been like we take the influences and then it's like, what about those influences? Not so much like the sound, but like how they write a song or how they would do this transition or effect they use. Or like, oh, well, we like this band and that band. They never go together. Well, what if we smash it together? What would that sound like? So writing techniques, tone, all of it. So it's not like we're writing a Pantera part.
Sorry, Pete. I think we borrow most from Pantera is their groove, Yeah.
Okay.
In a way, like, that's the Pantera end of it,
I also heard, like, again from that podcast, that you guys did like whole sets of covering Pantera songs. Like, that's pretty wild, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You had to do the tribute, and it became a yearly thing. So.
Okay, so once a year we bro down with the Pantera then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we would bro down.
It's been a few years. It's been a few years, but we've done it. We stuck to it, and we killed ourselves pulling it all together many years. That's another reason why music takes us so long over the course of our years.
You got to learn all these dumb Pantera songs.
We lose like 2 or 3 months of the year for the Time Fest, but like we're like, well, fuck, we got to do it. So it's like, all right, let's do the Great Southern Trendkill. Okay. Let's do Fort Beyond Driven. Okay. And then just like, that's why Torrential hasn't released an album in 40 years.
Yeah, man. We're too busy covering other people's. We're too busy doing tribute bands for other bands, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can't always just do tribute bands to Torrential.
Learn all the Pantera songs, then we'll think about writing some material.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a task. It's a mental task for us.
So I haven't delved too much into your back catalog. I've heard a couple of songs. This seems more like a lot darker than your previous stuff. Is there like is that like a conscious decision, or is that just like kind of how things evolved?
I think I would say it just evolved that way. I mean, even going back to like influences and stuff, like we never really sit down and say like, hey, this is like, we're going to try to do this specifically. Like it's usually a very organic process. So I don't necessarily think like we, again, I mean, like it might sound dark, but there is a lot of parts that I think are like more positive sounding to me musically than a lot of the stuff we've done in the past. But yeah, I mean, I definitely could see this being darker, especially from a lyric perspective, but I'll let Parker talk about that a little more.
Oh, we're definitely going to be getting to that stuff. What's your writing process like? Is somebody directing it, or are you guys just kind of bringing things in and seeing what works?
I would say, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, like I'll write songs. Both of you write songs. We'll bring things to the table. I mean, occasionally, more than occasionally, but we'll come up with things as a group. But we're always refining everything as a group, regardless. So, like, I might come in with like a song, present it. We'll say like, yeah, we want to play it, but then we'll, keep playing it over and over, make little adjustments, do whatever we need to do to get it to sound the way we all want it to sound.
Matt will show up one day with a fully tracked out talk, everything.
Yeah, he could just release it on his own. I don't even know why he even bothers like writing songs for us.
It's like such a gift when he comes. He pushes play, and we're like, we can have this. It's ours. He's amazing with that, and he does that a lot. And he comes with just full blown masterpieces. I guess. When I come up with a song, it's a total mess and it's a mangled process, and no one understands it, but it comes together in the end, and then
Well, that's the best because what we do is like Jay writes this thing that's like kind of like crazy and like all over the place, and then like Matt will go home with it one night, and then he'll come back the next day and be like, "Oh, guys, I kind of like put like this to a click," and then all of a sudden it's like everything Jay did just makes sense. Like it's like I don't know, just Matt's just able to decipher it in just a way that like it's like yes, this is exactly what we're going for, and then we move forward. It's amazing.
So it's cleaning up the tracks and stuff afterwards. Then I got you. That's cool.
It's not even like the cleaning it up. It's not that it's like sloppy. It's just like it's like Jay is like really thinks like a very outside the box. Like his writing style is like very like he doesn't like think about just like riffs or like writing. Like he just definitely thinks about just like the chaotic song structure. And then it's like or even sometimes some of the stuff even that we're working on is just kind of almost deciphered from improvised jams and stuff like that. So like so it can almost like have this kind of chaotic like stream of consciousness almost kind of a feel to it. And then Matt just will like take it home and then he's like, "Oh yeah." And then he's like, "Yep. Oh, there it is. There's this part, there's the part. Yep, that works."
Dude, that's exactly how I write like my own material. It just comes out of your head, right? Like you just pull it like you're not even thinking about it, Is that how it feels like to you, Jason?
No, I think about it way too much, man.
I think that's like the best. I think that's the best shit though. Like when you're not thinking about it and it just comes out. At least for me, it's like usually like, oh, all right, yeah. It's just like you don't have to think about it. It naturally goes from A to B to C or whatever.
I like taking like a lot of like random noises and like kind of going, okay, let's figure that out and how to make that work. I guess another influence which I've been thinking about since we did that Metal Trenches podcast, a group Animal Collective, they managed to take noise and just make it work, and it almost sounds like pop music. And so a song like Old Familiar was highly developed from their sense of just taking sounds and noises and sampling them and playing them on a sampler and just getting the noises to work, forcing something that's not musical to be musical.
I honestly never heard of them before.
But my favorite is looking over at Jay, our guitar player, Jay Volpe, and going, "All right, where's your one?" And then him like going, "Oh wow, that's a good question." And then me and him sitting and trying to like tap out like where the one is. But again, that like adds to the music, like it's not just cut and paste and it's this. It's kind of like finding where the pulse is, and then all right, where is the next pulse? And then it's just this like this undulating flow of music that comes out, and we managed to streamline it and polish it and get it to where it needs to be. So it's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
So what about the lyrics? Parker, you writing all of them or?
Yeah, I take care of all the lyrics.
Okay. So is there like an overall theme to your lyrics? And maybe just for this album, if not for like the whole like time the band's been together?
I guess. Well, for this record specifically, I wanted to touch on issues of like mental health and depression and stuff like that.
I really picked up on that in the album.
Yeah, definitely. That was like something I wanted to. It was something that I had discussed with the band earlier before we'd released this record when we were talking about the conception of it. That I just wanted to go for like a more honest approach lyrically. I wanted to be more, I guess, upfront, and more specific about what I'm saying. I've written in the past, and a lot more stuff could be like kind of like. You could take it one way or take it another way. I kind of like to write like with allegory in mind, where there's like maybe possibly multiple meanings and stuff like that. But this one, it was much more direct. I felt like I had a lot to get off my chest. Over the past couple of years, have been I definitely like I would say like an awakening, kind of like an interesting experience for me. So I needed to definitely write about it and kind of get it out.
What does peace through waveforms mean?
Peace through waveforms, like, so basically it's like I love music so much. So it's like music and just sound in general is just like it's so meaningful to me personally. And just even songs. I could hear a part in a song and just like it could bring me to tears. It's just like so magical, so beautiful to me. So yeah, so like definitely listening to music, I would say is like, or just even seeing live music or going to shows is like peace, at being at peace for me. So it's kind of like that, like definitely like an illusion of that.
In the Primal Wound, you mentioned that you were in there. It says 6 months alone. Did you write that during the lockdown? I kind of figured that's what that was about.
No, actually that song is about adoption, and like I'm an adopted child, and it's like something that like is like, I guess maybe at the I consider this at the core of like my whole like depression and stuff like that, because like there's the whole dealing with the abandonment. I don't know who my natural parents are and stuff. So the song The Primal Wound is actually, that's taken from a book by the same name, which is about like adoption, and actually a lot of parallels that people who suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder have with people who are also adopted. There's like a lot of crossover there, because like I guess like being separated from your birth parents is definitely a traumatic event. So yeah, so the Primal Wound, so 6 months alone was basically like, because I was adopted when I was 6 months, at 6 months. So I guess that line specifically, 6 months alone, was me like being kind of like in like a nursery or something like that. Yeah, where like I wasn't with my birth mother at all, just like in some kind of like primary care or something like that, like
Okay.
or nursery care or whatever.
So, what's the recording process like? I saw you guys recorded at Backroom Studios with Kevin of Dillinger. That's fucking sick.
Yeah, How was Kevin's that? Kevin's the man, bro. Yeah, we've known Kevin for a long time. He's a really good friend of ours. And, just like when we did our second record, Connected Through, we did that with, we reached out to Kevin for the first time, and we did that. We knew him, at that point, we knew him just from another local band that he used to play in New Jersey. He used to play in this band called Esoteric. And he also played, which we had played shows with. He also played another band, Knife the Glitter, that we knew.
Hell yeah.
So,
yeah.
And he had recently did an article, I think it was with Gear Gods or something like that, but he did an article where he was talking about like bands that he was working with, and he mentioned this one band, Impossible Voyage, and I checked it out, and I was like, dude, this sounds incredible. This is so cool. I'm like, I think we should go check out Backroom. I think we should go with Kevin. I contacted him, and I didn't tell him I was from Torrential. I was just like, or I told him from Torrential, but I didn't tell him like that it was me, and because I wanted to surprise him, actually, because I hadn't seen him in a while. And then when we came to the studio, he's actually super pumped to do that record. And then man, we've just been like really good friends ever since. We've done all of our records since with Kevin.
Oh, nice. How does he push you guys more, or is he trying to get y'all to do more odd time signatures stuff, or is he more of just like just trying to paint the picture that you guys are trying to lay down?
Yeah, I would say it's more the latter than the former. Although Kevin does definitely push us performance-wise. Like he knows that, like he's like, I know you can do that better. Pete, that sounded great, but I know you can do that better. Same thing with like any of us. You know what I mean? Especially guitar-wise, he, him being such a good guitar player, he. Throughout the years on our records, he's always just had really great suggestions for like little guitar parts or little tiny little add-ins and stuff like. He's actually even, he probably won't admit this, but he's actually even played like little parts on our record, like stuff like uncredited, of course. Like he didn't want to be credited or anything like that, but just like little tiny things that he was just like, oh, I just heard this and just did this, and it was like, I hope you guys don't mind, but he's like,
it must be super intimidating, like recording guitar with him.
Well, yeah. Nah. Kevin's the most humble guitar player. He doesn't really consider himself a guitar player. At least, like, for years he didn't practice. Ask him about how much he played guitar before the whole Dillinger thing. He must have taken almost like a 8-year break from actually even touching the guitar. Like, and then he his next gig's got to be learning the Dillinger song. So he fucking did it, man. He did it.
He called. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
I was gonna say he called me up. He called me up to when Ben asked him to do that Dillinger gig, and he was like, "Jay," he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Should I do it?" And I was like, "Yes." I'm like, "Absolutely, dude. You should fucking do that Dillinger gig. Are you kidding me?"
He's added more on Connected Through and TKV. But this latest album, the recording process was very different compared to being at the studio with Kevin from the previous albums. Matt, you can explain this process if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. We multi-track all of our rehearsals, number one. And then, so for the record, we were able to, take those multi-tracks, kind of clean them up. And on our own, we were able to record the dry tracks for the guitars. So when we went to the studio, we had all these sessions that were kind of like pre-mixed that we did, and in a sense kind of record over that and then use the dry guitar tracks and reamp them at Kevin's. So a lot of the record was like pretty much set before we even showed up there. It was just a matter of like, getting better drum sounds and redoing the drums in a better room with better equipment, and then doing the vocal parts. So it was long. We learned a lot throughout the process, but it was actually pretty smooth. And, being that we're like, we're DIY and independent, we don't have, people giving us money to make a record. So it helped a lot in terms of just preparation when we actually had to go in and put the money down and do the work and get it all done as quickly and efficiently as possible.
How was it recording drums, Peter? Or Pete? Pete or Peter?
Whichever. Pete. Recording drums with Kevin is it's a luxury, honestly. He's so cool to work with, and we've been working with him for so long. He gets the language, so to speak. He knows what sounds I like. It's great. There's no pressure. It's really smooth. It's comfortable in that room. I've recorded at studios where you just never get comfortable. No matter what you do, how it is, you never get in that rhythm, that zone or that feeling where you're like, all right, I can, you get comfortable there. But at Backroom, it's like being in our own studio, and like Sherman Parker, had said, he knows what we can do. So, we go in and, we had all the demos and everything were done and the parts, were written, and I play something and he's like, I think you can do something better there. So, and he pushes us, but he knows what we can do. He knows how we work. It's really light. It's fun. It's great. The drum sounds are amazing in that room. So,
how long did it take you to do the drums?
In total, 4 days. First day we set up and got sounds, and then 3 days to track the drums with editing. And then so the first week, drums and bass were done in 5 days because all the bass tracks were done. So you just reamp them. Drums and bass are done.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long did it take you guys to do this record, like in total, from the very beginning to up to now? What do you think?
17,000 years.
Want to hear something funny? It's actually not even done yet.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty funny. This was actually go ahead, Pete.
So we have these 5 tracks, and we have this whole elaborate plan to release the songs. And there's 3 more tracks that we have written that were supposed to go with these 5 tracks.
Oh,
and then
okay.
the pandemic happened, so we couldn't really execute that plan. So we decided that these 5 tracks stood strongly on their own, and they sounded great together. So we put them out, and we still have the 3 other songs that once we're able to get back into the swing of things, we're going to churn those out. So...
Okay, going to be like an EP or something, or are we looking at another full length?
They're long songs. So.
Yeah, they're long.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
honestly,
I don't know.
I'm
What's
glad
an
that
EP?
it's just. I'm glad this album's just the 5 songs. Like, I like shorter albums personally. It's easier to digest them, and I mean, with how much music's released nowadays, you know what I mean? Who has the time to sit down for like an hour or whatever? But yeah, like this has allowed me to play through it like, I don't know, 6 or 7 times, something like that, and like really get to know it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And, we're not tiring out the listener.
Exactly.
You know,
Leave them on him for more.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Lou Kelly, I don't know if you guys have listened to his music, but his stuff is sick.
Oh man,
He's in the chat.
Oh, right on.
He's got a question. He's got a question for Parker. Regarding not knowing your biological parents, have you considered using DNA testing services to find potential DNA matches with other people, potentially finding out your relatives?
Yeah, actually, my sister got me a DNA testing thing through Ancestry, and I've looked into it. I've been able to locate some like distant, like 5th and 6th cousins and stuff like that, but I've never made any at least at this point, I haven't made any inquiries into trying to find like to go further down the line and stuff.
You're interested in finding them then, or?
I am interested in finding them, yeah, for sure. Although I will admit it's like a mentally daunting task for sure. It's just this huge like thing. It's like, oh man, it's almost like I've lived this whole life like how I am and stuff like this. Do I really want to open this can of worms?
Right.
It's like it's definitely this big like mental hurdle, but it's something I definitely think about a lot, and I do want to move towards that for sure.
I'm actually a test tube baby. My mom was artificially inseminated, so I don't know who my dad is or anything. So I kind of feel that with you. Although your case is far more severe than mine is, but yeah, like it's like, do you even want to know at this point? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No. Totally. Yeah. Exactly. It's and also too like I'm originally from South America, from Colombia, so there will also be like language barriers because I grew up here in the United States. Speaking English is my first language. I do not speak Spanish, so like going down that road, like there would be some barriers, but nowadays, like it's stuff like that, it wouldn't be as much of an issue as it would be in the past. But
right on. So just want to remind chat, you guys can dump questions and comments anytime. I'll try to read them. Regina Stargazer is saying that he's 50% torrential and 50% downpour. So we have a question here we ask everybody. How do you dress your hot dogs?
Ketchup and mustard.
Okay, basic guy. I like it.
Ketchup and mustard too.
Nobody's adventurous. All right, easy. I like it.
I don't eat hot dogs.
But if you did, what would you put on there?
I'd probably take the wiener off and then just like put a burger in there.
Okay.
Have fun with that.
So how did you guys get Jordan Rudess on your track? For those of you who don't know who Jordan Rudess is, like the chat or whatever, for those of you who don't know who Jordan Rudess is, he's the keyboardist for Dream Theater. How did you guys get him on here?
Jordan's a friend of mine. I'm a piano technician. It's my career. So I'm fortunate to be his piano tuner for many years now. So just over time, we've become friends, and the song Apperceptive Mass had that wide open part, and I was like, this is it, if there's ever a moment, and pitched it to him, and he was totally into it, and thankfully, he's the coolest guy, really. He's so down to earth. He wants to know about everything, and he's in the forefront of technology and music, always has new things. Every time I show up to his house, it's like awesome, an awesome time. So
So you keep up his pianos and stuff, like
his piano at home.
Do a better job at it, you think? I mean, he's like the professional like keyboardist, and stuff, you know what I mean? Like I would think.
I mean, everybody's got their guitar techs on the road, right?
That's true.
So
That's
true. So I guess I'm his piano technician. Yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. It's the biggest treat to do a piano tuning and then just say, have at it, man, and just sit back and, oh man, it's really cool.
First time you were doing it, were you like super nervous and like, oh my god, I better get this?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest. First time I got there, I didn't know it was him. You know, I wasn't a huge Dream Theater fan. Matt would have recognized him immediately. So I'm standing in the room and I'm looking around and I'm going, okay, like the Dream Theater stuff on the wall with the 20,000 sales or whatever the heck they're doing, and I'm like. So I started asking questions. And I'm like, "Oh crap! All right, this guy is in Dream Theater." And then that was a while ago, man. That was like 2000. That was like 10 years ago, maybe. But yeah, no, it's no pressure. He's just so cool. He's actually cooler than so many other people I may tune for out there.
Dude, Jay is a piano tuner to the stars, bro. He's the piano tuner. He's done Madonna. He's done who's that guy? The band leader for Letterman. What's that guy's name?
Paul Schaefer. Yeah, Paul Schaefer's a friend of mine too.
Wait, for real? Oh, I thought these were jokes.
No, man. I'm serious.
Wow.
I can't confirm that. Is this true?
Yeah. Paul Schaefer's an awesome guy. It's a cool gig.
You tuned for like Madonna too and stuff, or was that a joke?
Yeah. I worked for Steinway pianos, so they're like, upper tier, and through them I was able to go to some really awesome places. Billy Joel's house, some jazz legends. It's fun. You see a lot. It's cool.
So we get Madonna featured on another track, or
on the next EP, dude. You gotta wait.
She did sign the Deftones to her label, like. So there's
there you go, man.
Chance, yeah.
Right, she's hip. She knows.
Wow.
So Polar Knights pointed out something pretty interesting here. This is the evolution of beards. You see, we got clean shaven over here, and you got me with a little bit of beard happening, a little bit more, and we get a little more intense.
There we go.
Man, that's great.
Spot on, man.
Thank you for noticing.
Consistent like this too, I did say. People are funny.
So you guys scored a film. That's freaking crazy. Like a metal band scoring a film. Wire is the name of it. How did you guys do that? Like, how do you even contact someone about scoring a film?
We're lucky to know a lot of very creative and very talented people in our circle. So, our buddy Mike and our buddies Mike and Doug, they have a production company, the Mainstream Insurgents, and they were doing a movie. They were filming a movie, and they had a guy who was scoring for them, and it just wasn't working out, I guess, or whatever. But then, I think I had reached out to Mike and was just like, hey, if you guys need any help, I'd be down to take a crack at it. And then they sent me the movie. I watched it, made a bunch of notes. I went over to Cece's house and was like, dude, I got this thing here. Like, you want to work on this? And then we got Jay involved, and everybody, we wound up just becoming this whole thing with Torrential, and we wound up, just working together on this score. Kind of happened almost as a friend needing help from a friend, and that was it.
If I remember correctly, I think they only wanted us to do a 5-minute. It's a short film. It's 20, 25 minutes. Yeah. And I think they really only asked us to do a 5-minute section of it, but we ended up doing the entire thing.
Yeah.
They liked it.
But to be honest, the first 6 or 7 minutes is devoid of music.
So it was Wired, right? Wire?
Yeah, Wire.
Wire, yeah.
Okay. Is there a place we can watch that, or?
I think it's on YouTube somewhere. Hold on.
Vimeo. I don't know.
Hold on. I got a message.
The link should be in the Bandcamp page. If you go to the Bandcamp.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It might be there. Yeah. Hopefully it's still there. I don't know if the Vimeo link's been deactivated since, but.
Did you guys get paid to do that, or were y'all just doing it to help out?
No,
dude. You don't get paid to do anything.
Yeah,
I don't think we've ever got paid.
Come on. I'm crazy. Just ignore me.
The link works, by the way. If you go to our Bandcamp and go to
great.
Find the Wire soundtrack, you'll find the Vimeo link.
Oh, looks like Lou just posted it in the chat, so if anybody wanted to check that out later on.
Oh, thanks, Lou. We'll get Torrential on Letterman. Oh, man, we'd have to edit our songs big time. Like, we'd have to squeeze them in there.
We might be able to get
probably play the show out. We're like, all
right. So I believe Parker is in Circuit of Suns. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I sing in Circuit of Suns.
Okay. I didn't know which J to direct it at. So, okay. How is it being in Circuit of Suns? Like, you guys are making a pretty decent name for yourselves.
It's fun. I've been doing the Circuit of Suns thing for a couple years now. I did the last EP with them. And we're working on a new full length right now.
When's it coming out?
I'm hoping this year. I'm really hoping this year. COVID really, and the pandemic in general really threw a lot. We were supposed to have it out last year, 2020, but COVID really put a kibosh in those plans. So things have kind of got pushed back, and now we're kind of just like flying by the seat of our pants with this. So I'm hoping for 2021 for sure. We're hoping for a summer release, but if not, for fall. And we're excited. We're working with Danny Walker on this record. He's really super talented drummer. Very excited to be working with him.
Nice.
And yeah, just super pumped. I've known Mike, who's the main songwriter from Circuit of Suns, Mike Darren. He's one of my best friends, and he's a really great guy. He's excellent songwriter. I mean, the guy just like, I don't know, he just oozes riffs. He's just one of those dudes. He's like, oh, come over, hang out. And then I go over to his house, and he's like, oh, I just wrote this, and he's like, and, goes insane. And I'm just like, oh, okay, dude, when are we recording this? Like, okay, when is this happening? Because this is amazing.
He's a genius, really.
Yeah, he really is, and he's such a sweet guy. Very, very super down to earth and sweet dude. So yeah, being in Circuit is super awesome. We work with Mikhail and also this other drummer Bryce, and all those guys are super sweet, easy to work with.
Hell yeah, man! Looking forward to some new stuff. So you guys play a shit ton of shows. Well, probably not a shit ton anymore.
I just want to say one other thing real there. Jay did a stunt with Dead Empires in there too, man. And that was really awesome. They had called it quits, but he was in there for a few years too. So while we were writing this album, Jay was off doing Dead Empires thing as well as the Circuit thing, and that's been a real treat for us to hear everything he's put out with them, because man, it's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah, man!
Check
Dead
out
Empires
both of those bands. Anybody in here, go check out Dead Empires and Circuit. Totally. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Dude, you're good. Your logo's got this little circle thing in the middle of it. What is that exactly?
The artifact.
Give me a second.
The artifact.
Yeah.
Dig this thing up looking for dinosaur bones or something? Or?
I guess just real quick, I guess Jay, when he worked for Steinway and Son, they used to have to smash their inventory, like the back inventory and stuff that they wouldn't sell or couldn't sell that was too old or was defective or whatever. And he would actually go into these smashing sessions after they were done and pick pieces from the debris, piano pieces, all smashed, and then make sculptures out of them. And then the artifact, is one of the sculptures that he made.
So it's actually a real thing.
Oh, really?
I don't think anybody's ever seen this.
What was it supposed to be?
I don't know what that thing is.
I have no idea what that is.
This thing, I don't know. This metal thing I found. This is not from a piano thing. But I don't know. Just glued these parts on. But anyway, it was hanging on a wall, and Matt took a picture of it, and it became a thing. So
that's sick.
It's it's organic.
If you look on the artwork for Connected Through, all those little statues are these things that Jay created with destroyed piano pieces.
Oh, shit.
All those little things, yeah.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I thought that was kind of a weird looking cover, but this makes sense.
Okay, so all right, this is less of like the piano art. Let me see if I can find one that has it.
But yeah, he would make these little tiny statues and things. Yeah, like here you go.
What is that supposed to be?
Well, come on, man. This is thousands of years old. This is ancient technology that is definitely
everything that's ancient is from the future.
We're trying to decode that. But you know,
It's like a cat toy they would use in like ancient Sumeria or something.
Yeah, right. Oh, please, dude, I have a cat. I have to keep these way up on the shelf. You fucking destroy them.
Surprised it still can't get up there.
She finds a way.
Oh yeah.
Cool, man. That was a cool question. Thank you for asking that. Wow.
So you guys play a bunch of, did play some shows. What's your best show? Your best show experience?
Oh, Euroblast, right, guys?
Yeah, probably.
Y'all
I
played
would say
Euroblast.
so, yeah.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
Euroblast or Vitus with Dillinger Escape Plan.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
That was a great show too. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Damn,
Euroblast
I never
thing-
looked at like the exact shows y'all played. I just saw like the list and saw there was a lot and we could talk about it. But man, y'all played with like Dillinger and like Euroblast and stuff. That's sick. How do you get on those
Yeah.
It
shows?
was funny because Jay signed us. It was like Metal Sucks was holding a competition that year, and Jay signed us up. He didn't tell us, and the next thing you know, the voting starts, and we're like, "Wait, we're in this thing." And then, of course, well, hell breaks loose, and the next thing you know, we're renewing
win.
passports,
Dude.
putting fucking plane tickets on credit cards, going, "Oh shit!"
Running through airports in England to catch connecting flights.
Dude, that's crazy.
We made
Holy
it
crap.
happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we made it happen. Yeah, we went out there.
And that was the year that Meshuggah played, so it was just like,
Yeah, Jay gave himself a concussion to Meshuggah.
yeah, yeah, that was wild. That was cool.
Yeah,
But-
there
but-
are so many good stories.
Yeah, but opening for Dillinger was like the ultimate and surreal. Just, I don't know, playing that gig, and when Jay was like, "All right, this is our last song. Dillinger's up next." You know, that was like, all right.
Oh, y'all were like right before them then. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were main
Oh, yeah.
support. Yeah.
Nice. How did the crowd react to you guys? Because y'all are like a little slower than they are.
That was actually the best crowd response.
Yeah, it was probably one of the best crowd responses we've got. Yeah, we had some moshing, kids going nuts. This one drunk guy kept high-fiving me the entire set. Like, just like ah!
You'll find the videos of that, yeah. But no, it was cool. But we've done a lot of shows, man.
Yeah, we played a lot of
with a lot
shows.
of bands. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we toured with Car Bomb, which was really cool. We did like we did a short stint with Dysrhythmia. Like we've had some really cool shows. We've had some really
Dave
cool
Rocky
shows.
Experience.
Oh yeah, we played with Dave Rocky Experience from
the
War.
Stratosphere.
Yeah, the Stratosphere show.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We played some really cool shows for sure. And
Do you know Stratosphere, Chris?
No, I do not.
Go look. All right, whenever you're done with this, go seek out a Stratosphere and check out their catalog.
everybody in chat, go check out a Stratosphere. They're defunct now. They're not around anymore, but their catalog is some of the coolest, craziest, multi-genre music you'll ever hear. It's all over the map.
It's awesome.
But it's awesome.
So it's Stratosphere with an E in front of it.
Yeah, like Eric Estrada,
Okay.
like the actor from the show
someone
Chip.
posted it in
You're
chat.
old like we are.
Well, Luke Kelly says he definitely knows about
Of
Australia.
course, Luda.
Of course he does.
Come on.
Well, so we talked about your best show experience. What about the worst show experience? Where shit did not work out.
That might be subjective. I know me and Jay might have the same worst show experience because like they kind of coincide. Where like I had a show where I was like completely drunk, like completely wasted drunk.
As a vocalist would be.
Normally I don't get that drunk. I mean, this was at a period where I was drinking a lot, but I normally could keep it together for the shows. Even if I was pretty drunk, I'd normally be able to keep it. But this time I was like just sloppy, just at it. Like when I was on stage, I couldn't even like stand up. This is one of the first shows I just laid down on the stage.
Yeah.
And was singing at one point.
I never heard anybody slurring their screaming before.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
I can't believe it. I was like, is this really happening right now?
like
This was before Daughters. This was like 2001.
like
or as Daughters as we know. No.
Daughters totally stole it from you guys.
No.
no. Alexis is a genius, bro.
Yeah.
He is a fucking genius.
But Jay, yeah, that was a bad one. And I came back from college. I drove back from Connecticut for that show and got a fucking speeding ticket on the way home. That was a great show.
It was just bad. Yeah, because like Jay was mad at me. The whole band was mad at me.
Yeah.
Like everyone was. And it's one of those things where I just felt so awful about afterwards, and I kind of vowed to like never
I think
get.
that was the
wasted
last
like
who really did that.
Oh yeah, no, I never got wasted.
Yeah, he never got.
Except for that fucking Dime Fest, man.
Oh, the Dime Fest, but that was like
that doesn't count.
But that doesn't count because there was a private party, and like I was trying to imbibe the spirit of Pantera and Dime Bag in general. I was drinking, like whiskey all night. I was drinking Blacktooth Grins.
A lot of shots that.
And I remember the specific moment when I blacked out too. It was like right during the second set, and I remember like just like being there, and then it was over. And then I woke up the next morning at Pete's in the basement, and came upstairs, and Pete was up making coffee, and I was like, Pete, did we play the second set? And Pete goes, sure did. I was like, the whole thing? And he's like, sure did. I was like, because we did 2 sets that night, like both like about an hour long. Like we really went all out on these Pantera shows.
Yeah.
So
I have those sets recorded. Maybe we'll release them like 5 years down the line.
Oh man, I was so horrified to listen to those sets for so long. I couldn't. It took me almost a year to bring myself to listen to those. They were in the Dropbox forever, and like I was like, I can't even listen to like what I sounded like. And then I finally listened to it, and I was like, oh man, it's not that bad. It sounds actually pretty good. And like, but the only thing is like, I just keep asking everybody constantly, "Are you having a good time?
Yeah,
Are you having a good time? You're having a good time, right? I want everybody to have a good time." Like I just kept telling people to have a good time. And it was so ridiculous. Between every song, like it was all I could say.
Hey, at least you nailed the second set, though, man. I'm surprised that you just like fall apart. That's awesome. What is the weirdest place you guys have played?
That's a good question.
Yeah, we've had barns. I think we had the weirdest one was a ice cream parlor. So
we played in somebody's like loft apartment kitchen with Cleric and Dysrhythmia, right?
Oh yeah, we played in the kitchen
New
once.
Brunswick, yeah. Let me see
was...
if I can dig up a video.
In like an apartment?
Outside in.
It was somebody's loft. Yeah.
It was the venue was actually billed as the Loft, and it was like a known like kind of DIY spot in New Brunswick, and it actually has like a stage. There's actually like a stage there, but for whatever reason, the stage we weren't having it, and the whole show, all the bands we decided we were like we're just gonna play in the kitchen, so we decided to set up in the kitchen / living room area.
Yeah.
How big of a place are we talking?
There was that place out in.
It was kind of sizable. Like you could get a good like probably 100 people in there. I would think.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay.
it was a pretty decent sized.
It was a loft for sure. It was a sizable loft.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post a link. Actually, there's actually a show we played out in. I think it was Ohio, where we were outside. Remember, guys, and we were just like Jay was up top.
I think that was Pittsburgh.
We played to the whole town, basically.
I remember that. And then there was Abseekin, right? We did that 420 festival.
If I could get this. If I can get this link on, that's pretty cool.
Atco Owls, yeah.
That was a pretty weird show.
Played a 420 festival?
Yeah, we played a 420 festival. Like
that was a backyard wrestling thing, right? Wasn't there like backyard wrestling involved?
I think there was some kind of backyard wrestling thing. I don't remember, or maybe Jello wrestling or mud wrestling or something. I can't remember. There was definitely something going on.
There's a lot of weed in the air. You're getting a lot of alcohol. It's hard to remember these things. You know?
Oh, there was definitely a lot of weed going on. Matt was playing. I remember Matt was on some kind of like trailer hitch. Like on some because there was a stage erected, but the stage wasn't big enough to hold us, so they had a second like a trailer hitch set up almost as like a side stage, so we had Matt set up over there.
And it felt like part of the fall underneath my feet.
A piece of plywood on top of a pile of wood chips. That was part of the stage.
Oh yeah, that was the whole stage. Yeah, it was just wood chips with plywood on top of it. Yeah, it's great.
That's freaking hilarious.
Oh man, yeah, the old days, the good old days.
So all I saw on Bandcamp was a shirt. You guys have physicals of the album?
No, we didn't. We decided not to do physicals. Oh, we were actually planning a tour for this past year with this record, and we were planning on doing physicals for the tour and stuff like that. But since the whole pandemic, kind of 2020, kiboshed all those plans and stuff like that, so like we we decided not to do physicals. If we do decide to, go back to playing shows, or if we do decide to tour either next year or 2022, then yeah, we would definitely consider physicals, but not right now, I guess, at this time.
We've always still buy it.
Yeah, no, it's true. We always wanted to do vinyls. I think that's something we've been talking about for a while. So I don't know. Maybe we can make that happen this year. I don't know.
You guys haven't pressed vinyl yet? I figure you guys have been around for so long that you gotta have something.
It's so expensive.
We have a 101.
You have a what?
We have a limited run edition. We have one of one of our.
We do have one pressed. Yeah. Jay pressed Connected Through for me one year. That. I don't have it with me right here, but yeah, there's one of one. But nah, it's man, without like somebody backing you, that's a hefty cost and a hefty bunch of weight to lug around and have sitting around. You better hope you can. First of all, like runs of 50 are just not happening. 100 is like the smallest ever, but even to sell 100 records, like come on, we're not that So it's a practical issue, really, until we see like enough of a demand where we can push these and get go through the whole mailing process and everything. You don't want to sit on a ton of records, man. That would be awful.
Oh, I know from experience you don't want to sit on a bunch of records. Look at my closet.
Yeah, no, trust me, we have like tons of our me and Jay's old band fucking sitting in somewhere, some storage space.
Just like 500 CDs in a box. And you're like, all right, what the hell are you gonna do with this? But imagine like a shit ton of vinyl. Like what are you gonna do? I don't know, because we're not on the road. We've never been a touring band. It's tough.
And the problem is like doing shorter runs, like less than 100 runs, just aren't feasible, like economically and stuff like that. So it's tough to do like very small, like limited runs. I mean, we do know some friends and stuff like that, so it is something we could talk about in the future for sure. But as of right now, yeah, we don't have any other physical releases besides like the CDs from the first 3 records, and then the T-shirt right now.
You guys have CDs and stuff like for people to buy? Like I said, all I saw was a T-shirt.
Oh, yeah, they're not up. They're not. They might not be up on the Bandcamp right now, just due to the whole pain in the ass that is to, get to the post office nowadays. But maybe we can resurrect that.
I think we should.
They don't fly out the door, so it's like. All right.
So y'all mentioned y'all were in a band together a long time ago. What band is that?
Oh man, we were in some silly like.
It doesn't matter. It's just defunct.
Now I want to hear it because you guys don't like it. So, what is it?
No, me and Jay were in a band together a long time ago. It was like I guess like a kind of like Mr. Bungle, Frank Zappa, Slayer, like Pantera-ish, kind of like inspired.
Dude, that sounds sick as hell. What is it?
Yeah, well, we were like way too.
Wasn't that sick, man?
Nah, we were like way too. Yeah, it's very, very like super basic and like silly. But it was like definitely like where me and Jay met. It was definitely a place for us to like kind of like express like our early ideas and stuff like that. And for sure, like we were finding ourselves like as musicians and stuff like that. It's not something we want to have necessarily out there.
I had seen Torrential Downpour, it was kind of cool being a fan of Torrential Downpour beforehand. Like that was kind of cool because I just really wanted to play those songs. They were far more advanced. So that was like kind of cool to actually hear the band before being in it. But it was natural in that sense, I guess, because these guys we were all really good friends before that. So they had some pretty funny tryouts though.
Oh man, because like at first I didn't necessarily want to bring Jay in because like we had the other band going and it was like, oh, I kind of don't want to mess with that vibe. Like bringing Jay into Torrential might kind of like mess with what we're doing with the other thing. So it was like, okay, so we had some auditions for like a guitar player when our old guitar player had left. And we had some funny auditions. We had one audition where I don't even think the guy played. I think he played for like 10 minutes, and then we just went upstairs and just smoked weed the entire time. And just hung out with him. We were just like, yeah, like you're cool to hang out and smoke weed, but I don't think it's working like guitar-wise.
I think I was in the middle of that. I think I just got up and I was like, yeah, I don't want to play in a band with this guy. I got work tomorrow. I'm out.
I got work.
And then we had a jam. We had a jam with this really awesome dude, but he was like at the time, yeah, we were super young, and he was like maybe like I guess like 15 or almost 20 years older than us. But like so I guess there was like a little bit of like not of it, but he was really good. I remember specifically he had a really amazing tone. Like his tone was like super locked. And we had some cool jams. Like that was like we would just improv shit, and he was able to kind of hang. But then like that kind of wasn't working, and then eventually it was just like, dude, like I don't know, let's just fucking bring Jay in, man. Like you know what I mean? Jay's super creative. He knows what the hell he's doing. He's a good guitar player. I know him personally. He's a good guy. Let's just bring him in. And finally, I decided I was like, okay, I'll break down.
When our guitar player Casey told us he was leaving, and it was like we need to find a guitar player. My first thought was we should get Jay from the band that Jay and Jay were in, because I had seen like Jay, I had seen them play, and I just thought I was like, wow, their guitar player. I didn't know Jay at the time, and I was like, man, that guitar player is awesome. Like I would love to jam with this dude. So when Casey left, I was like, because even Jay was like, I don't know if I want to bring him in, because of the dynamics. In the back of my head, I'm like, no, dude, get him in here. Like, get him in here.
It was definitely, it worked out for the best for sure. It was really awesome having Jay came in, and our old guitar player Casey was really awesome as far as initiating Jay into the band too. Like he helped Jay like learn our old songs and stuff like that. So like and it was there was no hard feelings. It wasn't a bad break between us and Casey. It was just creative differences, and he wanted to kind of go his own way, and but he was willing to help us. He actually helped us record like that early EP demo thing that we did. But like when he was kind of officially out of the band, but we needed somebody to do scratch tracks in the studio, and he was the only one available. Jay was up at school.
Yeah, I remember that.
Jay was up in Connecticut.
He played on that then.
He played on the scratch tracks, and then Jay came down and recorded the actual tracks.
Wow, I forgot about that.
In the studio, we needed Pete wasn't comfortable playing a lot of the parts without having the actual guitar there. So Casey was gracious enough to come in and do those scratch tracks on that session.
Back in 2000.
Yeah, way back in the day. I would think, oh man, with our good friend Mike Morrissey.
Oh man, I remember that. That was a fun session.
Yeah, we recorded at William Patterson University. Analog. I think the only thing we ever recorded to tape.
Yeah.
Well, we recorded the ADATs back in the day, right? I believe, but
it's still digital.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, this was 2-inch tape, I think. Yeah.
Damn, did y'all have any idea what y'all were doing with it, or?
No, hell no. This was it's actually a student project from our friend Mike. He was going to school there as an audio engineer, and he needed a band to record for his junior project. So he called us in, and he was like, dude, would you mind doing this for? And we were like, yeah, sure, free recording. This is a chance for us to kind of like do a recording with Jay. Jay was just joining the band, so I was like, yeah, this is perfect.
Is that available somewhere? I looked on your Bandcamp. The earliest thing was your demo.
Yeah, you know what? I'll probably put it up somewhere.
SoulSeek or something.
I'll probably put it up on YouTube or something like that as a gas, because the songs are cool. Yeah, the songs are cool, and it's cool to like go back and see like the early Torrential and kind of like see where kind of we've gone from it. I mean, as long as the other guys are okay with it. I mean, I have no problem releasing that old stuff, but
yeah, it was old.
Is the audio quality bad?
Tones. Let me just preface it.
No, it's not terrible.
It's not terrible. I mean, it's not like what you'd come to expect from a modern release or anything, but
actually, there was a lot of like, yeah.
My screams sound pretty nasty.
It wasn't
on
bad
that.
at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad at all. Those songs were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You could definitely
There was
tell.
a lot of noise.
We were definitely cutting our teeth with that material.
It was like new metal, but like with Mr.
Our
Bungle
new metal
coming
phase.
in, man. Like, it was just like noise, there'd be like new metal, then like, 3 minutes of noise, like in Lemonhead, you guys would just go up, or Hollowed, which was a song that just had all this noise, and that's what I loved about the band, because they just went off into this noise territory.
Yeah, we used to do a lot of noise.
That, yeah.
We used to do a lot of noise and a lot of improv back in our older shows.
We ran with that. Our live shows kind of morphed over time. Like through the first album and into Connected Through, like our sets we'd start and we wouldn't stop. And we'd improvise a lot. and there would be times we wouldn't come up with a set list, and it would just be like, let's just start playing, and through audio cues we'd know where to go. It was awesome. You know, and then over time, I don't know, the shows we started playing with a little bit bigger bands, so the set times had to be a little bit quicker and stuff like that, so we couldn't fuck around as much. You know, we had to do song as opposed to having 45 minutes. You know, we'd have like 30 minutes or 25 minutes. You know, that makes a big difference. So we used to be more. It was cool. It was cool. We used to be way more out there, I would almost think, but like, I don't know.
Has a crowd ever not been into your oh my god, I just lost the word. Your improvisations? Has a crowd never been? Has a crowd ever not been into your improvisations? Have you guys been like, you know, booed or whatever whenever you're off doing this random stuff?
No, I think the only time we've ever like had people like kind of staring at us, we did this one show out in Long Island, where remember when we did that favor for Leo and we played with that one band, they were doing their record release or something like that, and they were kind of like a butt rock band, but we were like, yeah, we'll go down and play it. And we did that show, and yeah, just like the people were just like, "What the fuck are these people doing on stage?" like they were staring at us, and I even was joking around on stage. I even go, "Hello, Long Island, are you out there? I see you." Hello, no response. The crickets.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever
the place was full. The place was fucking full, and it was crickets. Bro. I was like,
they're just like, dude, I came here for the Pantera covers. What is this shit?
Yeah. How many strings are on that guitar?
Most of the time, crowds have been pretty receptive to what we've been doing, and yeah, like a lot of people actually. Some of the best compliments we've gotten are from those sets that we would do, where people would come up to us and be like, "Man, I don't even listen to metal, but like you guys, I really like your band." It was like those would be like the best compliments, like those people, and we'd see a lot of those like around that era for sure.
Yeah. A lot of hippies, actually.
So a lot of hippies.
They're here.
They love it,
dude. The hippies love us.
What was the last album you guys listened to?
Personally, let's see. I listened to an album.
Spotify.
Yeah, where's Spotify at? I listened to a record today, I think, on the way to work.
Yeah, the last thing I listened to, was the Waveforms, the Car Bomb album.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, click, 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 click.
Yeah, that was the last thing I was listening to. It's either been Car Bomb or Devin Townsend this year. It's pretty much it for me.
I threw on Neurosis Through the Silver and Blood this morning.
That's a good one.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I haven't listened to that in a long time, and it had come up in like a thread I saw on Facebook, and it reminded me. I was like, oh, dude, I gotta listen to that album. It's been a long time, and I put it on this morning.
I listened to this group, their brothers, Darkangelo. I don't know. It's electronic. It was really friggin' awesome, actually. Tweaking Papers is the album, and D. Arcangelo is the group name. I don't know.
Okay.
That's the last thing I listened to. Really cool. I've been listening to a ton of electronic stuff, to be honest with you. I couldn't even remember last time I put on something with distortion, like guitar distortion.
I was gonna say there's a lot of distortion in electronic music.
I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it anymore. Electronic music has really been super enjoyable for me lately. Like it's always has been, but now I'm just like, man, I don't want to hear any more guitars right now. I just don't. Yeah, to be honest.
What about you, Matt?
I'm looking now. The last thing that's on my playlist is the new Over record.
Okay, that's a sick one.
Yeah, I really like those guys a lot.
What are y'all's albums of the year? Well, I guess we just started, so let's say albums of last year.
Of 2020?
Yeah.
Poppy?
Yeah,
I'd say Poppy, I Disagree, is one of my favorite records from last year. I listen to that a lot. She's great. She's really awesome. I
really like that Hum record.
Yeah, the Hum record is among my favorites of the year. Go ahead, Jay.
I enjoyed John Frusciante's solo album. John Frusciante from the Chili Peppers. He released an album called Maya. it's a throwback to the '90s, like kind of drum and bass thing. But that was really cool, really good. I like that. And Greg Puciato's album.
Oh yeah, dude, that's
that one is
a killer. It's a killer record.
Matt's behind everybody again. What's your album of the year, Matt?
Probably the Oliver, I'd probably imagine. Go ahead.
Actually, no. I gotta say, man, there's that. He's Norwegian too, and he was playing with Over live. He's a guitarist. His name is Stian Wisterhuis, I think is how you pronounce it. It's a really odd record. It came out in like February or March, and I keep going back to it like constantly. I think it's amazing. It's called Redundance. I highly recommend it. It's not metal at all, but it's awesome.
I think the only album you guys said that I know anything about is the Greg Puciato album.
You got some new stuff to check out. Right?
Yeah, I wrote it all down. So it's about all I got, unless you guys have any. Oh, you have a video coming out soon, right?
I think so. Yeah,
What's the deal with that? When are we gonna put that out? What's up?
We're working on it, man. I'm working on it. You know, we're just transitioning into the new year. People are busy. But we're working on getting this thing out.
Can
but
I
yeah, we
get
did.
the link?
No, you guys gotta do it right.
You gotta do it right. That's integrity there. Okay. I mean, I got a Control-C away, so.
But we worked with this dude Joey.
Yeah, let's credit him at least.
Yeah, go ahead, Jack.
His name is Joey Carlino. He's out of Massachusetts. You can look him up on YouTube, Joey Carlino. He's on Instagram. I'll post it in things. His shit is awesome, man. He did our last. I don't know if we did a little promo for the remastering of our first album that we put out this year, a visual promo. He did that one. The kid's a total genius. I mean,
whoever did your live set is freaking amazing. The editing is so good on that. Is that the same guy?
No, I did that.
Oh, you did that? Damn, dude, that is really good. Like, it's so trippy, man.
Oh, wait. No, okay.
For the
are you talking about Apperceptive Mass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, our buddy Joe.
Yeah. I mean, I sat down a long time with him too, but our buddy Joe Pelosi, Joe Scalose, did that. That was another arduous process that took a long time. I don't know. Things take a long time with us. Sorry, everybody. Let me get Joey hooked up here. I can't do like 4 things at once.
But yeah, Joey, he did a video for the latest Bangladeshi record. And it's super awesome. I think he reached out to us actually, because he's like, oh, I'm looking for bands that like-minded, bands that I like and stuff. He's like, if you ever want to do a video, and we were definitely in the market. We had this record, so we wanted to do a video for it, and he just really knocked it out of the park. I had kind of an idea for him, and he kind of just ran with it and made it his own, and was like, holy shit, It's really, really cool. We're really excited about it. It's for Old Familiar. Okay. So be looking for that if you're a fan of Old Familiar. Yeah. You'll be a fan of video for sure.
I forgot this was even here, man. Nobody...
I told you to do it at the beginning of the show. You didn't do it.
He's nice. He's closing us out with it. You know what I mean? We're going
had to take that 3-minute break there, right?
We're going for that big finish.
Forgot about a few things. So much, Chris. This has been awesome.
That's about all that I've got, unless you guys had something else to talk about.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for anybody who's out there, really, because it's surreal that anybody would, I don't know, listen to our music. Because, fuck, man, we've been doing it for so long, and we spend so much time on it, and kick ourselves to death to make it. And thank you for listening. We can't thank you enough, really.
Yeah, man. Really, thank you to all the support we've gotten for 2020. Thank you to everybody in chat for hanging out with us tonight. It was really awesome. Chris, thank you so much for the interest and for having us on the podcast, man. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Next time y'all get an album together, next 10 years or so, y'all just hit me up and we'll get you back on.
Yeah, dude, for 2030, we'll hit you up for sure.
There you go. So be sure to check out 2020, the fourth album from Torrential Downpour, which came out back in October. You guys are on Spotify. I would assume all the other streaming sites, Bandcamp, Instagram, Facebook. Any other social plugs I'm missing?
We have a Twitter, I think, but do we ever use that? I don't know. I mean, we do use that. So
right,
I mean,
that's the reaction I get from a lot of bands. Like nobody knows if they have a Twitter, or if they do, they don't do anything on it.
I don't know. I don't run the Twitter.
Not Twitter.
I mostly run the Facebook account, but I don't run any of the other social. I mean, sometimes on Instagram, but that's it.
Regina Stargazer says you got OnlyFans also, so check
yes, sign up. You know what I mean. You get full access, 100%,
full access,
uncut, unadulterated access.
So as for me, drop my channel a follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub if you'd like, throw me a couple of bucks. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you like the video, please hit the like button, tickle the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at thesoundthatendskreation.bandcamp.com. My next guest is Victor of the Denmark mathcore band Eyes. Join us this Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central right here at twitch.tv/thecasttheendskreation for the live cast. Thanks for being here, guys. Hope y'all had a great time.
Thanks for having us.
Had an awesome
Thank you,
time.
Chris.
Thank you,
My
Chris.
God, thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
And thank y'all for watching and listening.